Welcome guys, today I'm going to be doing a unique video where I will be demonstrating how I do my planning without any use of indicators or anything. And today I'm going to be doing a 20-year prediction on Bitcoin. What's going to happen in the next 20 years, what could happen, where it could end up going, and when it could end up going there. So I'm going to show you guys how to do that without the use of any trading indicators whatsoever. And let's get on with the show. So if you don't already know, we also have a Discord community that you guys can join. Yeah, we've got a very nice big community that you guys can join, and it is free to join. So yeah, click the link in the bio. Here's the community. In here we do research. You're not allowed to post anything about what you hold. You're not allowed to post no wallet addresses. It's only for research, technical analysis. We have a lot of stuff, so let's have a look what we got. We got a Jasmy Wikipedia, employee Wikipedia, so this has got the employees and things about the company, you know. And then we've got Jasmy partners, so these are the partnerships that they have. So these are the partnerships. You know, this here, Mystical, So we've got loads of different partnerships. We've got some extra stuff that we need to still sort out. We've got Jasmy Press, so this is all the listings, all the posts from the Jasmy management, the patents, and press and articles. We've got the AMAs, so this is all of the AMAs and events that they have ever done. It's got all the links to all of the resources that you possibly would ever need to know anything about the project. We got the Junction partnerships. We got the Junction press and info. We've even got some Junction images, so you know you can learn about the project, what it does, how it operates, and what problem it solves. So there's a lot to it. There's a lot to this project, and we try to cover it in as much detail as possible. We've also got the Jasmy Grants projects. We have the Jasmy Grants partners, and even their AMAs. We have a whole heap of other categories. We've got some fun zone at the side. We've got chill out area, and we have we got a little special place called Jasmy Idiots. This is where we put all the people that don't know anything, you know, people who post silly things like James Goodwin. He's very famous. He's very famous about being a Jasmy clown. And we got this Christ, the solid rock guy as well. He's a clown as well. Yeah. We got the Jasmy clowns, and then we got the Jasmy jail. So if somebody is trying to scam or spam, or they're not following the rules, or they're asking sensitive questions or questions they have no business asking, we put them in this jail where we just troll people. We just put them in here, and just like they want to scam and spam us, we spam them. We quite literally just do this. Yeah, so we go like this, and I just go like this, copy, paste, and now this will send notifications to their electronic device and disturb them. So yeah, if you want to spam and scam us and disrupt what we're trying to build here, we'll just isolate you from having access. So yeah, we're very focused on things like technical analysis. We've got the RSI drawings. We got the possible predictions of where the RSI could land. just marking in the patterns and things. You can see how the predictions have progressed, you know, as the time's going by. We can see how we marked in certain things and it's been following, so it shows that we're on the right track. We point out any anomalies that looks interesting, so that's the indicator that Bitcoin was going to do something very disturbing, like a sudden dump. And man, we should have really listened to the signal. A lot of people could have accumulated more, but yeah, let's get on with the show. So the purpose of this show is to show you how I do my charting. So I don't like to use indicators because I don't like a computer to think on my behalf. So what I do is, if I go like this, you'll see this is the Bitcoin chart. This is just the entire history of it. There we go. There we go. So let's get on with it. So what we got to do, we got to go right to the beginning. We got to draw loads of lines from the base point. So what I'm going to do is, we got this trend here. So this is the lowest candle here, and we got the other one next to it. So let's get on with it. So we got this here. These lines here ain't going to be very important. So what I've got to do is I've really got to compress it, because if I zoom into the current time frame, this part of the chart basically becomes invisible. And yeah, we need as much clarity as possible. So we need to draw all these different trends in here, but then it all need to start at this one point. They all must start from the lowest point. If it's not from the exact point, it becomes inaccurate. And the best way to do this method is on the 1 minute chart. Yeah, on the 1 minute chart. The 1 minute chart is the most accurate, whereas this is currently the monthly chart, so it loses a lot of its accuracy. I've got to just draw a whole heap of these lines from this exact point and then move them into position once they are drawn in. This is a method that nobody uses. Probably the only person I've ever seen on the internet using this method, and it really works really well. It works better than any indicator. It will give you an indication of when things are about to fall just by drawing these lines. These lines become your averages. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to draw the base of the trends. Once I'm drawing the base of the trends, then I'm going to start lining things up. So there we got enough lines there, yeah. So let's start drawing in the bottoms. So we got one over here. Well, let's get it properly. So there's, I'm going to make sure, okay, so this one's one. Yeah, that's one. So I'm going to just extend this. So where are we going to extend these lines to? Shall I do it to 2024? Let's do it to 2045 or something. So we've got to extend this, but when we extend it, we've got to zoom back in to make sure that it's at the correct angle, and then we've got to zoom back out to readjust it if it's slightly off. We need to make sure that it's as accurate as possible. It's not going to be 100% accurate, but it needs to have a very high level of accuracy. Now if you look at that from there, you can't tell how accurate it is, so you've got to really get in like this. Is it touching the zones? we can see we can see the very bottom one here. It needs to go slightly higher, and the higher one needs to go slightly lower, just a tiny bit, not much, just the very smallest amount. Yeah, so that's gone up a little bit, and we got this one here. It's got to go down just the tiniest bit. It's very jarring process. This is. It's a very boring process, but once you do it, you never have to do it again. It's that top one still off slightly, but it doesn't really matter about the very bottom trends, because we know it's very unlikely that it will ever go there again. But we never know. It's crypto, man. It's very unpredictable. Nobody knows where it can go. So we got this trend here. It's this one, so it's got to touch the base where the camera's close. So let's put it around here somewhere. It will start to take shape in a second. You'll start to notice what's happening, what will happen. This here. So some of these very small lines now, because I've zoomed out so much, they've gotten minuscule. So what I've actually got to do now is just extend all these like this, so we can just put them into place. So just extend everything. So all of these white lines here is going to be the baselines of the trajectories. So these are just trajectory lines. Technically I could move the one that I just did slightly lower, but it doesn't really matter. So let's have a look. So that's the top there. Extend these even more now. The more we zoom out, the more we've got to extend the trends. It's just that where they start from, it has to be as accurate as possible, otherwise this method won't provide accuracy. It has to start from the bare minimum. Then what you do, you just zoom out like this and just make sure everything's absolutely lined up. So we got this trend here where, so let me just point out what I'm doing. So this trend here is to mark that, but if you notice, it touches this and this. Yeah, technically those two there, yeah, are gonna have a different trend on, but I'll draw in that in after. So what I'm trying to do currently is mark in the tops and bottoms. So anything like this, anything like these are the trends I'm drawing in, and including these main ones here. So that's what I gotta do. So let's get on with it. Let's get on with it. So I'm gonna take it to 2044, something like that. Nice little 20-year projection, whatever you want to call it. And you can see that some of them actually align anyway naturally. So we can see that that touches two of them. So it shows that this method already works if these trends already match it. It's not rocket science. It's very easy to do. It's very easy to learn. It's very easy to understand. But people in this next generation will be incapable of doing these types of technical things, because they will depend on AI and all of that kind of stuff to think for them. They will lose the ability to think for themselves. So let me just, I need to put this here so I know that these are extras that we gotta just match up now. So I'm gonna zoom in now. So one of them was this line here. There we go. It's got to be as accurate as possible. Bearing in mind this is a monthly chart, so you do lose a lot of accuracy. And then there's now one more trend here. So where we gotta put it? We've got to put it over here. We've got to mark the bottom of this here. This bit. So that's what I'm marking, that very bottom of that. So that's the main stuff done. Now we've got to just put in the uptrends and the downtrends. So let me just make some minor adjustments. Yeah, I'd say that's good. Let's extend it a little bit more. Let's make it go to like 2058 or 60, you know. I'm not going to be alive then, but you know, somebody will be. So somebody will make use of this. So now we're going to change the colors of the trends. I'm just going to zoom in as well, just see what we got to change, if there's anything we got to adjust. There's just one that I can see so far that needs adjusting. One. What about those? Yeah, they're pretty good. So it is only this one here that needs adjusting. It's slightly off. It's ever so slightly off, and we'll zoom in so you can see. But over the long term, these smallest little inconsistencies will cost you. We need the white line to actually touch it, or at least come in contact with it. So let's make that happen. I just zoomed in so you could see what I mean. It's only got to go up ever so slightly, but let's get it. So there we go. Now now we've got to do the uptrends. So what I like to do is on the bottom of the charts, on the bottoms I like to do green lines, because green is a go signal to me. So whenever I see green, that says, alright, the chart wants to move up. So what we've got to do is do these kind of things here. So we got this strap here, put that in contact with that, make this a green line. In fact, I'll start from the very bottom, so we might have to do a load of these again. So what I've got to do is zoom in. Let's make sure we get everything, including, yeah, we got to make sure we get it all. So let's just move this one out of the way slightly. In fact, let me just delete it. Just don't really need it. So let's just you've got to get the angles from the bottom now. So what was the first angle? The first major angle, I don't know, let's say it was here. It was here, yeah. So if I put this on a weekly now, what you'll notice is what you will notice that it will somewhat lose accuracy. You see? So it's lost accuracy. Now I'll put it on the weekly. You understand? This is why the smaller the time frame, the better. So now what I got to do is put this on the daily. Yeah, the daily's okay. The daily is actually okay. It's just the bottoms for some reason. Let's have a look. Let's just zoom in. Is it coming in contact? So okay, the daily's okay, actually alright. It's just for some reason the weekly is pretty off. It's off center. So let me put it back on the weekly. Yeah, that's off center, that is. That's a bit weird. But it's okay. It's okay. It does what we need it to do. Not a big worry. It's just the top one there. Let me just check the daily on the top. That's really off on the top. Let's put it back on the. Let's put it back on the monthly a second. Yeah, it's in contact there. Let's put it on the daily. That's in contact. Why does the weekly chart show it's incorrect? Then let's see the 4 hour. Yeah, the 4 hours alright, it's not that bad, it's slightly above. Yeah, it's a good indicator though, it's a good indication. Should we move it down a little bit? I don't know. But let's put it back on the daily now. Let's get onto it, let's get onto it. So we got all of this. I'm going to put it on the daily because the daily does provide a lot more accuracy. So what we want to do now is mark the actual uptrends, and there's plenty of them. There is one more trend that I really could mark in. So let me just do one more. I'm going to absolutely zoom in again, don't I? As well. It's only one candle, but man, it matters. In fact, I need to do 2 of them. So what I'll do, duplicate that, clone it, change the angle slightly so when I do align it on top of it, I can still adjust it. So let's do this. Let's put this magnet on. Strong magnet. Boom. That's good enough, the magnet. The magnet does a good job. Let's zoom out now. So we got number 1. Number 1 actually needs to go slightly higher. If you can see, it's actually cutting through that green candle there. So that one needs to move slightly higher. Ever so slightly. So let's do that now. But the good thing about these charts is once you do them, you never have to do them. What just happened there? Huh? What happened? I did not. Wait, let me change this. In fact, let me take it off. That was the only setting I really changed there, that magnet setting. And then we got this here. That matches up with 2, 3 points. This is beautiful. This is beautiful. Really beautiful. So, like I say, we got to make sure that that green candle. You got to zoom all the way back in just to make sure. And now it's underneath. So now I've got to move it up slightly, ever so slightly. Let's do that. Let's do that. So it'll be matching with that, isn't it? And now let's put this on the monthly. Bada bum bum. Well, what's going on? And there's the monthly. Let's just drag this out to. So it's approximately, okay, so as long as it's touching this, that should be alright. That's about right. And let's see where this one's going to touch. I'm trying to find a tip that it touches. Okay, the red tip there. So as long as it touches that red tip there, that should be right. Yeah, that's good enough. That is good enough. That is good enough. Back to the daily. Boom, boom, boom. Yes, beautiful. So we got the main ones in now. We've got the main trends in. Now, let's draw the uptrends. from the buttons. So we got something here. Ah, damn. Do, 365 days, and it's all in a year. We are here trying to be millionaires. So let's trim one. What happens is every so often it breaks out of a trend, yeah, and that's what these white lines are. I've got to make this one a green line because that's a go signal, and then I'll put these on the dailies now. I've got to really focus on small parts. Try and swap so it's a bit more perfect. Okay, so let's do the absolute bottoms. We've got to do the same with the bottoms as well, because you can't start on one part and leave it all half-fired. And there really is a lot to draw in. So I'd say the real push was from here. So what I do, I align these like this, and then I extend this across. Days. I'm going to do it from here. So I'm going to do it there. From this point to that point. I'll put it on the monthly again, so we can make sure it's absolutely extended to where we need it. Down. Where's this chart going? But these things here don't really matter yet, but nevertheless, we gotta put it in, man. We gotta put it in. And then we have another place here that goes across from, let's say something like here. So we've got to figure out where the bottom is. It's that point there. Let's pull this down a little bit. Really got to relax that then. Yeah, it's looking okay. That looks safe. So these are basically going to be like the safe zones, you know, whenever it plummets like it's doing today. It's going to show where it's safe. Now we've got to put this new one in here. So now we're kind of getting into a better time zone now. We're getting into a nicer time zone. So boom. So currently, if it was to plummet and do something crazy, it means that Bitcoin could actually fall to like what, 23k, but it's likely will fall to something like 40k. So yeah, Bitcoin does have a chance of still falling, but it also has an even bigger chance of climbing. This is the bottoms. This is the absolute bottoms. Let's have a look. And we got one more here. So let's get this red trend here. These are various zones of safety. So if it ever does some crazy nosedive like it did yesterday, and no doubt it's going to happen again in the future, but this is the kind of place that it could actually land to. So yeah, let's say we got them, the main ones in. So let's just put that on auto. Let's now put that on the daily. See what that's looking like. And now we can start really adding some detailing. So now we have this trend here, which will tell us a lot. It's got to go from here. And what you notice here as well is you've got this kind of climb kind of thing here. That's good. And even here you've got it going along. It's kind of going along. Even here it bounces off the trend. So you'll see what you'll see, it becomes magic. So currently, if I extend that, it's currently sitting just under. Oh, look at that, amazing. It's actually going to go slightly lower there. So I'm going to lower this slightly. Like there. Let's have a look. Yeah, that would do. But now, if we put this on a monthly, it will give us where. Oh, I haven't even done the climb lines yet. Wait until you see the climb lines coming in. Ever so slightly up, just this ever so slightly. Let me just get to the edge of this. I didn't realise the green line was that fucking far. But look at the prices, man. In the long term, it's got to move ever so slightly up. Did I say? Let's see if that's good enough. Auto. Yeah. Oh, now it's got to go ever so slightly down. Ah! It's slightly overtaking it. Nah, that's alright actually. That's alright because if you zoom in, you can kind of see that. Yeah, that's good. It could go slightly lower, but I think it's in a good position because this almost comes in contact. That does come in contact, but this seems like it's kind of traveling it anyway. So that's good. That's good. And it's, oh damn. It's this one now that I've got to do. This one has to move slightly higher up. It has to. Fuck it, I want to put it on the monthly. It's just a lot easier. Extend it. That's it. I only pushed it a tiny bit up, but that's all we need. Boom. Let's have a look. Let's have a look. Ah, it still needs to go a tiny bit up. Wow. still needs to go up a tiny little bit more, so throw it back on the monthly. It's the highest trend. So that should do it now. That should actually do it. Put it on daily, auto. It's too high now. Wow. So I mean, it's very, very sensitive. Very sensitive. You know what I'll do? I'll put it on the weekly. I don't like the weekly for some reason. It just doesn't look accurate to me. But that doesn't matter. Oh yeah, we've got to extend it to like all the way over here with these other trends as well. So this is definitely going to a mill. 100% because definitely going to a mill. Damn, put it on the daily now and it's completely gone off. Damn. I can still, oh okay, perfect, sorted it, that's perfect now. That's actually perfect. The angle was right, I just couldn't get it to touch this, but now it's touching. And you can see it's currently resting on that, so it's beautiful. It's doing, this indicator is working nice, yeah? Homemade brain indicator. Now what we got to do, we got to do the tops. Now tops is usually reds for me, so I like using red lines because it does give a lot of clarity. So with the tops we don't have to really worry about going from the beginning. As you can see, two of these lines are off key there. Two of these lines are slightly off, but that doesn't really matter because it's all the way at the bottom, but it does matter at the top because eventually things will cross over and it will affect on the long term. So I don't know, let's see what this one looks like. There we go, so that's that. That's uptrend. Let's do it from here. Let's do it from here. This is what we need. So we got this here. This has got to be a red line. So let's change the color of this because red is for, alright, it's reached its maximum, it's going to start going back down, you know. So this is how I work it out. So now we've got to do is extend this all the way across. And what you will notice, it will start becoming a very nice average. So what's this going through? Plus we've got to take it to 2024. Oh, 2044. Minimum of 2044 at least. So let's do that now. So boom, extend that all the way out like that. Put it on the daily. Yep, that's doing it, that's doing it. Yep, now we just gotta do the next one and so on and so forth. This is to mark all the tops, the angles of the tops. We've got to extend them because trend lines always meet. It might not meet now, but it might meet in a year or two or 3 or 4, but it always comes in contact, and you will start noticing it throughout the whole history. So now we've got a higher trend here that we're drawing in. really boring, but someone's got to do it, man. We gotta get on with it, man. If you want to be sure about what we're sure about, if you want foresight to be on point, we've got to do this stuff. We really got to do it. I wouldn't say that's 100% accurate. Let's have a look on the daily. It's gonna be cutting through the candle, isn't it? I've just got a feeling it will be. Oh, that's all right. It's pretty good. Damn good, man. Wow. Yeah, I'm happy with that. I'm happy with that. I'm very happy with that. However, no, I'm not. No, I'm not. That didn't touch there. Boom. Now it's touching. Now I've got to move it slightly higher. So if I go back to the monthly, let me just ever so slightly. Let's check that now. Daily, back on the daily. Okay, there we go. Yeah, it's okay. It's still slightly through the tip, but it's okay. It will do. It will do. Now we've got to do the current positions. So this is the 2021 positions, and it hasn't yet broke out of any significant trend. So this is what it's got to catch up to. When we know that the ETF and the Bitcoin halving is going to break out, it's going to, let's bring it lower. Let's bring it to safety, yeah? So because it's going to be a breakout, we'll do this. We'll do this so it touches a few different trends there, yeah? It touches a few different candles. And I'm going to call this one safety. So it's going to show slightly lower than the maximum, yeah? Let's just see what the difference would be. So let's say by whatever date this is, this will be like, let's see, monthly, let's see. Let's see. So you're talking 2026, man. We're gonna be, you know, it's gotta break above this anyway, because what happens is this was the one trend, yeah, and what happened? It eventually broke out. How much did it break out by? Maybe half. So if I copy this here, move it up to the top, yeah, it almost doubled. So it's things like that that we're trying to measure. How much could the breakout be? If that one was double, that means that when this one breaks above, so let's say this one gets to here, where's that going to take us? It could possibly take us to something like this. So where's this price here? 186k, 184k. That's where we could potentially go. And that's all I'm doing, is just doing averages and playing it safe. Just never get greedy. Oh my days, my neck is so broke. Okay, and let me play it very safe, yeah? I'm going to do an orange line now. So the orange line is going to indicate, so let me remove this. It's back on the daily now. Put that on auto, move that in. So on the daily that's slightly off, but it doesn't matter, it doesn't matter. What we need to do is the current trend where it fell from over here, we're going to do the same, but because this line now is going to cut through this candle, it's going to become an average, understand? So it's going to cut through this candle, let's even bring it lower. Let's bring it to there. Yeah, this one's gonna be an orange line. Yeah, orange is average. Red means danger. It's reaching its maximum. It's also good because if it breaks a red line, it means it's going to find a new high. But if it approaches a red line, it's likely going to cool off. It's likely going to cool off. Yeah. Now the only time it doesn't cool off is on the halving cycles. As you can see, it breaks through. So the halving cycles are very good, very strong. Very good, very mean, very strong. Yeah. We also have another average, so let me just zoom in here. So I've got to do the actual bottom average as well. So we've got one here. I'm not going to take it all the way to the bottom. And what you'll notice is every time you get the averages, you get concentrations, and that's exactly what we got. We got a little concentration here, you know. We got concentrations here where it's fluctuating around that line, coming back down and up, and then it actually broke out there because it didn't come back in contact. It maintained above it. So that's that. Now we've got to extend these also. So let's put this back on a monthly. Bada boom, bada bing. Oh, it's starting to, the chart is really starting to take shape now. It's really starting to take shape. So let's take it to 2040. I'll do play it safe. So do slightly under or slightly over, I'm not sure. But every little movement. So basically, when you start from such far away, whenever you're moving something on this side of the chart up or down, ever so slightly, it makes such a big difference on this side. So you've got to move it so fractionally. It's pretty difficult sometimes, but yeah, it's looking pretty nice, man. I'm pretty happy with this so far. This is the average. The other one was a top, by the way. It did pass through an average, and now we've got to do one from here as well because this is a peak. So we got that. We'll do that to there. I'm just figuring out where it could possibly fall to. So I think today is a pretty interesting day. So let's do that. And I'm going to do one more, which is going to be from, where is it? Here. This is going to be a blue line. So let's not draw that one in there, let's do it from here because it's having actually. So this one's going to be a blue line, let's do bright blue. And then I'm going to do a yellow line as well. Also, I'm going to do, okay, so I've got to do a yellow line. I'm going to do the same thing, but I'm actually going to mark the top on this one. So that's going to be bright yellow. That's going to be for the short term. And I want to get this bottom here, where this green dotted line is. And I'm going to make this one pass through the roof of this. Well, I didn't mean to do that. We'll just close this. I don't need this. Oh, there we go. Bin that. Don't need indicators on this. That was the RSI. I don't know how that popped up and why it popped up. I must have had it on this side. So let's draw that in again before I forget. So we got that point there where it had that bit of a drop. And this has got to touch the most recent peak this is going to go to 2030. This wedge here is going to go up to 2030 or something. I've got a feeling it's going to go to 2030. 2030 is here. So this is 2030 here. Let's see if it turns into a wedge at 2030. If we do it from the green candle, yeah, it does. It quite literally turns into a wedge at 2030. So 2030, this is looking interesting, and after 2030, that means that this can go crazy bullish. This can go extremely bullish, like differently. So let me just draw in these trend because it's the crossover that matters. There we go. After that peak, we could see some substantial movements or some sort of event happening in the crypto space. So now we can actually put it back on the daily. It should start taking shape now. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Yes, that looks nice. That looks nice. That looks very nice. And what we do, we're going to draw a level from the previous top to where we are now, so we know what we're going to break. So we're going to break like this sort of thing, yeah. So let's just make this I don't know, purple line, yeah. That's what it's got to break, and that is what it's got to break. Yeah, so now we have a good idea of what it could do. Oh damn, I've got to be careful I don't just move the wrong things now. Let's put it on the 4 hour, let's see what that looks like. So we know that red is danger, and it's also a previous top. So yeah, red is a previous high, and it's also danger, but it's not necessarily danger if the candles are above the red. It's only danger when the candles are below the red. Currently we're above the red, so it means that we could actually come down and touch that red. The greens are the uptrends. Technically I could actually draw another green in, because if we do it from this point, it's more of an uptrend, and it cuts through nothing, so it's quite passing through everything. We're going to do this one for the short term, so we know where the fluctuation is. It's going to be between those two green lines, and wow, look at that, there's actually support there. So if we zoom into those two green lines, beautiful, look at that, it's even already built support there. It's just patterns. There's, you know, everyone who's using all these fancy indicators, they're wasting their time. They're absolutely wasting their time. There's no need for no fancy indicator to tell you what a chart's gonna do. Yeah, mode, median, range and mean will tell you all you need to know about the averages of things. Yeah, working out the sequences of how things are moving. Everything else, yeah, is a bonus. You can see that this yellow line is slightly off. Let's move that in a little bit. It's still okay though. Let's move this one in slightly as well. It's good enough. That's good enough. Yeah, that's what we're gonna do. Basically, if Bitcoin breaks out, yeah, it's got a good chance of basically touching this at the minute. Yeah, what price is that? 102k, 96k, flipping 108k. It's either gonna go above or below, or smack bang in the middle of that. Yeah, just doing a rapid retest. Yeah. How I'd see it is, you see how this bit goes up in a peak, goes down, goes up, and then goes like this. Well, what would happen if we reversed this? What would it look like? I don't know. Would it look something like, I don't know, let me just try to, It's very difficult to do something symmetrical the opposite way. So that's about there. That comes back down about here. Then that goes up to about there. Then it falls back down to about here somewhere. Then that comes up not as high, and then it goes down. So if we was to put this over here, I don't know, it's still 96k there. So either way, we've got the white lines, which are the base and the top. So the base of everything, the average of everything, is the white lines. White is everything averaging, yeah. Oranges are greens are uptrends, yeah. Reds are when it's reaching its maximum or it's about to break out. Greens are buying areas. Averages are averages, but they climb averages, and the whites are absolute, like it's absolute zones. So the whites are the absolute stable zones, you know, from the very bottom. Yeah, if it falls, it will land on one of these. Yeah, when it climbs, it's going to land on one. When it falls, it's going to land on one. It's going to start traveling those as well, building concentration above and below it, and yeah. 20-year prediction now. So now let's put this on monthly again. There we go. There we go. Nobody can do what I do, how I do it, because everyone's just an imitator, and I put this out there so people can cheat the market, man. Cheat the market, get ahead. It's not for dummies though. There's too many dumb people that try to repackage what I do as their own. Yeah. Try to copy methods without understanding what I'm doing. So I've just made a video to explain what I'm doing. So yeah, the originator of this stuff, man. And if anybody wants to get my indicators, well, let's get rid of this shit guy's indicator. He's fucking clown. He's like, yeah, give me you want to try my indicator? Yeah, fuck off, mate. Let's use this one. And what I gotta do is put this on a separate plane, move to plane above. There we go. So let's see the monthly RSI. Quite a big divergence gap from 48 to 72. That's like a 30 RSI gap. It's a big fluctuation gap. I need to fix a bit of this RSI. Let's see what the daily looks like. Yeah, it's in a buying area. It's quite literally in a beautiful buying area. It's in contact with the buying area, man. Wow, look at the RSI is 26 currently. So the RSI is actually really down here, but you can't see the purple lines. I need to change the code slightly. RSI is down there. It gives you little bull flags as well, lets you know where it's going to go bullish, and that did go bullish. It went bullish and it went all the way up. Pretty good indicator, to be honest. And even the bearish there, give you the signal. And it's been bearish since. Bearish signal is alright. Let's see the breakout happened. Then we had the bullish signal there, with the bullish signal there. That bullish signal was incorrect by the looks of it. Just trying to see the accuracy of this thing. Even that bearish signal there, that was incorrect. can see the RSI goes golden there. And when it's in danger, it's going like, yeah. So just when it changes colour, it lets me know. Yeah, got the bearish. Let's see what it's currently looking like. Oh yeah, it's currently looking like it's gonna flip green. So yeah, and then we've got the other indicator as well. If you'd like to use these indicators, just join the Discord server. The link is in the description. It's very easy to navigate as well. I'm going to do something with the RSI on this, but yeah, this is what I usually do with the RSI. So let me just make sure. Yeah, so let me just draw this in on Bitcoin's RSI. So let's look at the entire history. We've got to put it on the weekly, monthly, all of that. Well, Bitcoin's been bullish ever since it existed. Amazing. Let's put it on the weekly, let's see if we can get anything more relaxed. That's a bit better, that's a bit better. And so it's currently in the green zone, and what it did last time, it's done this in the past, it's travelled like this here, which is really good. We just don't want it to flip too badly. In fact, we need it to do this here, how it goes above this green area. We need the moving average, which is this yellow line. We need that to break above. Now the more it breaks above, the higher the climb can go, but that's essentially what we need. The daily RSI is probably the best to use though, to be honest. So look, 2012, let's find the bottoms. So we had a pretty big bottom here, and match it up with the previous bottom of the RSI. So we could see the moving average come in contact with this basically. Let's do that white, let's make that 1 so it's easier to see chart. And we'll do the same with the tops. So what I do, I find the highest possible point on the moving average, and then I'll line it up with the next highest point, which is actually over here. So there's that there. And let's do this one here as well. This is your bottom averaging. The bottom averaging is almost in contact. Now that's pretty nice. Right, it's gonna go slightly higher, isn't it? Yeah, there. Mid-range is kind of around yeah, it feels like it's around here somewhere. The mids, let's make the mids dark blue. And what we can do now is just extend this. We could do localized wedges now. So if we put this on like 4 hour, we can start breaking it down into more localized predictions. So let's say, for example, if we do the tops, we go yellow, 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 came in contact 3 times, 1, oh damn, so we got that there. That's what we got to do. We got to put this here now because this one fell off. Grab this other side, put it here because it's the obstruction, and that's what we could do. Also, let me do one from here to here. And then we'll do something with the uptrend also. So let's see, what's the okay, yeah, it's this one. This one's probably the lowest possible candle here. We could use the RSI, but I like using the moving average. Yeah, so we got that there. So let's match that up here. That's going to touch the lowest possible candle. The current candle is still falling, so we can't count that. We've got to count the previous one before it. And now let's find the average, where it's got to go through as many points as possible. I don't know, I kind of feel like this is that's the uptrend now. So let's make this a bright yellow, and let's make that number 2. So let me just change all of these lines here. 1, 2, 3. Let's make. Oh man, I just selected them all and then I accidentally